In this video, I'll be doing an updated guide on painting a Dark Angel's Intercessor. Hello everyone, this is Jason from Forcehammer Gaming, and in this video, we'll be painting a Space Marine Intercessor in the Dark Angel's color scheme. Now, some of you may be asking, didn't you already paint a Dark Angel's Intercessor for your first Warhammer video? And yes, I did. However, I've recently been testing out some different paints and paint combinations, and I've decided to do an updated video for the Dark Angel's Intercessor. Truth be told, the main issue that I had with my first Intercessor is that the darkness of the contrast paint hid a lot of the details of that model. Hopefully, the paints that I'm going to use in this video will solve that issue. Anyways, without further ado, let's get going. So the first thing that I did prior to recording this video is prime the model with gray Seer spray paint. Next, we're going to be using Corvus Black to paint the following areas: the belt around the waist, the gaps in the armor such as behind the knee, the belts on the back and the cylinder on the waist, and the exhaust vents on the backpack here, as well as the round ones at the top. Next, we're going to be using Abaddon Black to paint this center clip area on the gun. Now we're going to be using Khorne Red to paint the casing of the bolt rifle. However, we're going to try and avoid areas such as the barrels, the skull symbol on the gun, the bottom piece of the gun that the Marine is holding, and the sights. Next, we're going to use Leadbelcher to paint the following areas: all the unpainted areas of the bolt rifle, including the bolt rounds in the clip, the earpiece and pipes on the helmet, the handle on the bolt pistol, and we're also going to dry brush the edges of the exhaust vents. Next, we're going to be using Mournfang Brown to paint the bolt pistol holster. Now we're going to be using Wraithbone to paint the parchment strip on the shoulder pad, the eyes on the helmet, and the chest aquila. In the next few steps, I'll be applying some shade and contrast paints. However, before I do that, I just want to correct any errors that I have made along the way. Please note, if an error appeared in an area that is supposed to be primed in Gray Seer, I'm going to correct it with Gray Seer paint. Okay, so I think it looks a little bit cleaner now. So the biggest change compared to my prior Dark Angels videos is how I'm going to paint the green armor. For this video, I'm going to be using Absolution Green Speedpaint 2.0 from Army Painter. I've been testing out the Absolution Green on a couple of test models, and I think it's pretty good. That being said, if you would prefer to stick with Citadel products, then you get a similar color by using a mixture that is 50% contrast medium and 50% Dark Angels Green contrast paint. Still, no matter which product you choose, be sure to shake the bottle just to make sure that the chemicals are mixed together. Also, make sure that the paint doesn't pool around the smooth areas, such as the smooth part of the leg here, or the smooth part of the shoulder here. Okay, so I finished applying the Absolution green. A quick note, the paint was pooling a little bit on the left leg, and I tried correcting it by repainting that area. That didn't help as much as I would have liked, so you know what, lesson learned. That's the thing about using contrast paints or speed paints to be the primary way to get the color on your armor. You pretty much have to get it right the first time. But overall, I think it's okay. Now we're going to apply a coat of Nuln Oil on all the areas painted in Leadbelcher, Khorne Red, and Mournfang Brown. Now we're going to apply a coat of Skeleton Horde onto the parchment strip on the shoulder pad and the chest aquila. Next, we're going to apply Blood Angel's Red contrast paint to the eyes on the helmet. Now that we've finished painting the Marine, we're going to move on to painting the base. For that, we're going to use Khorne Red for the top of the base, Abaddon Black for the side of the base, and then apply a coat of Martian Ironcrust on top of the Khorne Red. So just a quick note regarding the Martian Ironcrust. If you want a pronounced ground cracking effect, you want to put on a thick layer on top of the base. If you don't want too much of a ground cracking effect, then a thin layer on top of the base. Okay, we've applied the Martian Ironcrust, so now we just have to wait about 18 to 24 hours for it to fully dry. Okay, the Ironcrust has dried and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so here's my updated Dark Angels Intercessor model, and as always, I wanted to provide some quick commentary on it. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how this model turned out. I'm still pretty new when it comes to painting Space Marine armor almost entirely in contrast or speed paints, but it's something that I hope to improve on going forward. For the Absolution green speed paint itself, I'm definitely happy with it. It doesn't take too long to apply it, and it does a good job with darkening the recesses and crevices of the model, which gives the model depth and detail without too much work. Actually, at this point, I'm thinking of using speed paint on most of my non-character Space Marine infantry models in the future, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's the end of my video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to check out my other social media accounts in the description below. Until next time, this is Jason from Forcehammer Gaming, signing off.